Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's the Weekly Pint. It wouldn't be the Weekly Pint without a little bit of chaos, right? Yeah, a lot of bit of chaos. I had a whole plan in store for this week's episode, and then I changed my mind kind of last minute, and I decided that we were going to do things a little bit differently. So that's what we're going to do. There's been welcome to the show. If you're new to this thing, it's a happy hour. It's an excuse for us all to just sit down, have a drink together, and talk about whatever is happening. And there's a lot of things that are happening, both in kind of the beer world and then also kind of in our own personal lives. There's always things happening, and it's been a good week. Shout out to MadTree for sending me and a bunch of us that are hanging out here on the show some really cool gift packs with the new cans, the new psychopathy cans. They look awesome. I'm a little torn, losing the artwork, the kind of that Rorschach ink blot thing that existed for forever. Into this new artwork, but it is bright, it is hoppy, it tells you exactly what you're looking at with this beer. It's an IPA, and there is no mistaking that. It's also way easier to pronounce now because they highlighted the word hop in the middle of the beer. So when people pick it up, they know that it's psychopathy, psychopathy. So that's good. I like it. Beer tastes as good as it's ever tasted. Great stuff. If you are unfamiliar with psychopathy, or you've been familiar with it, and you want to hang out and try a bunch of new psychopathy, this is a great opportunity to do it. They've got a whole event planned. Psych Night. Ooh, look at the fun artwork. This is Friday, September 20th from 6 to 8 p.m. If you missed the video that I posted, let this be the call to action for you to be there. Good stuff. They've got all kinds of fun stuff happening for the event. Live music, Almond Butter Band. Almond Butter Band. Yep, that's the name of the band. It is an Allman Brothers tribute band. Good stuff. There's going to be interactive art installations, which I don't really know what that means, interactive art installations, but it sounds fun. There's going to be merch giveaways. I don't have the glass, it's upstairs, but they're going to be giving away all kinds of fun stuff, including glassware that, if you go to the video that I posted, that glass. And there's going to be tours, tastings, all kinds of fun stuff. Yep. Making sure I didn't miss anything on this. Yeah, appetizers and pizza. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is going to be fun. Brewery tours. If you've never actually taken an actual tour of MadTree, it's kind of insane what's going on there, how big the place is. And once you get back past the ropes where they normally block you off, there's some cool stuff. Hopefully they'll take us back there to show you the lab and all that stuff. There's some cool stuff. I'm going to be there. Thank you, MadTree, for the invite and for the beer, because, oh no. Marco points out that the chat is not displaying, and that is my fault. Hang on. I'm going to keep talking to you while I go over here. Somewhere. Go over here and over here. They changed a bunch of things on the software that I use to stream, and I still am not in the habit of doing this right. I'm not in the habit of doing this right. I have to copy this over here. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to say copy, and then I'm going to close this, and I'm going to close this, and then in theory, if I go back here, and I go over here, And this here should... I select that, and if I paste that here, this should give you a new chat, in theory. Somebody say something. Yeah, I just got to get in the habit. I know that the chat doesn't work the way it used to. I just don't ever remember to do it. All right. So I had this whole idea that this week we were going to talk. We were gonna hit some label approvals. And then with that, we were going to talk about kind of this brand refresh of psychopathy. Shout out to MadTree again. We were going to do all that as part of this week's episode. But you know what? I'm stressed, and I think that we need to drink some Oktoberfest beer. This is always that weird time of the year where the Oktoberfest beers are building in the fridge. They're not all out yet still, or I still don't have all of them. And I'm starting to get worried about how the time frame is hitting. So I need to do a showdown, and I'm going to need your help. We're going to do a crowdsourced showdown. This is the first time I think I've ever done this live like this. I have in the fridge, I believe, if my notes are up to date, hopefully they are. That would make this whole thing way funnier if they weren't. All right. And I was, up until now, doing a whole seeding process, trying to figure out what the best showdowns are. I'm gonna jump around here. This is gonna be completely random. You guys, we're gonna do this a little weird. So the first beer that competes, and everybody hold your horses until I finish the list. The first beer that somebody says will be the first beer that competes. And then I'll tell you how the next one is decided. So take your time here. Nobody jump on this. We've got... All right, Julia says psychopathy as not an Oktoberfest. That is not part of the competition. Any beers that are shouted out that are not part of the competition do not count. We've got fretboard, and I'm gonna abbreviate some of these just to make it easier reading. I'll say the brewery name for most of them. Fretboard. Then we have Third Eye's Fest Beer. We have High Grain Meadow, Braxton, October Fuel, Wandering Monsters, Ludwig, 50 West, Wienermobile, Wooden Cask Oktoberfest, Brinktoberfest, Streetside. Okay. Goofy Dad says high grain all day. Okay, you guys broke the rules. Shout out to Danny for breaking the rules. High grain is competing today. The second beer, as I'm going to finish reading the list, and then you guys get to shout out the second one. Wooden Cask Oktoberfest, Brinktoberfest, Streetside, Rainy Day Clubhouse, West Side Fest Beer. I think that is all that I have down here in the fridge. All right, so High Grain Meadow is going to compete against. Sorry, Marco, you missed shouting that out. All right, High Grain Meadow. The first person that texts me a beer off of that list, you can text it to my actual phone number, or you can do it to the number right up here on the screen, 567-70-DRINK. The first beer that gets a text to that number that I get on my phone will be the beer that High Grain is going to compete against. Choose wisely, guys. There's text is in. Okay, Streetside. It is Streetside. Shout out to Julia for getting the text in before anybody else. All right, now hopefully they're both down here in the fridge. That's the big question. I keep unplugging this every time I try to set the phone down. I unplug it. All right. High Grain versus Streetside. Hang on. All right. Everybody cross your fingers, because there's a I don't know, 30% chance that I just did all this wrong, and they're upstairs in the garage, and that's going to be awkward. All right, we'll aim this way so I can yell at you. All right. We had, High Grain versus Streetside. All right, I got Streetside. Streetside's good. We got Streetside. There it is. And then High Grain, I know it's in here. there are so many beers in my fridge. And they all kind of look the same. Oh, hang on, I got a light. Oh, that helps. All right, there's some esoteric. There's, okay. No, that's not high grain. That's not high grain. Oh, I see it. I see it. It's back there. All right. Okay. Got it. All right. I did it, guys. This fridge down here is technically the shelf that all these are on is supposed to be the beers that I'm saving for what I call the ultimate Cincinnati Oktoberfest beer, which is where I cuvee all of them together at the end of the season and make one big giant beer. So I have to remember to replace these with beers upstairs into this fridge. All right. We need some Steins. Luckily, that's easy. Got some Steins. I've got Sonder and Sam Adams. Shout out to both of those guys because they, those guys and girls, I guess I should say, they make great beers and great Oktoberfest beers. All right. Whew, this is going to be a tough one. I know it already. I've had both of these beers. They're both really good beers. All right, we're going to go street side into the Sam Adams Stein here. Both of these are fest beers, which when you get a fest beer and a Märzen together competing, it makes it really tough to decide which one is better because they're different beers. All right. There's our street side. And our high grain. I mean, already street side might get an extra point for being bigger serving size. There is something to that. I wish that there were places that would do more places, I should say. Shout out to Highwire for doing 6 packs of 16-ounce cans. I wish that was more normal for Oktoberfest season. I think that's fun, and I think it works. Julia says, does size really matter? You know the answer to that. Of course it does. All right, let's start with... I'm going to read the cans first, and then we'll talk about what they look like and smell like and all of that good stuff. High Grains Fest Beer Lager. It is 6.2% ABV, and it says it is malty, crisp, and authentic. They let you know on the can that this is authentic. It's fermented with yeast from the oldest brewery in Munich and brewed in traditional style to honor our favorite event of the year. Their favorite event of the year would be Cincy Beer Week, and they brew this in honor of that this year. Street Side, this is a collaboration with Perennial. Is that right? Yeah, Perennial Artisan Ales. It is a fest beer lager. It is 5.2%, so whole percent less than the fest beer from High Grain. We'll talk about that. It says, once upon a time in a very wet field in Indianapolis, the Street Side and Perennial teams came together to dream up a crispy collaboration. Rainy Day Clubhouse Fest Beer is perfect for imbibing at a tailgate, a fire pit, or in your cobbled-together tent clubhouse that protects you from the elements. Keep cold, drink fresh. Collaboration, yada-da-da-da. Canned on 8/26/24. That's a fresh beer. Versus 8/1/24. Still acceptable. I'll take it. Okay. Let's talk about what these beers. First let's talk about Fest Beer versus Märzen and what has happened to these styles. So traditionally, and I have argued about this with several people recently, traditionally, and you can tell me I'm wrong, but I'm not because I'm obsessed with Oktoberfest. You've got a Märzen, which is a malty, big. It's a big amber German lager. We're familiar with what Oktoberfest is in our head. That's a Märzen. Fest beer is the beer that is drank more than anything else in Germany at Oktoberfest. And despite what people will make you think locally or in the United States, yes, it's lighter in color, but it's higher in ABV. It is supposed to be a little boozier than a Märzen, and I know that doesn't mash up with what other people are doing currently with their fest beers, but that's the way it's supposed to be. That is why I give a point to high grain for 6.2% fest beer, because that's where it needs to be. That's dead on what a fest beer is supposed to be at. That being said, when I look at these beers, I'm looking at them both right now. The street side is a little bit brighter, a little bit more clear. I want bright, clear lagers when I'm looking at my Oktoberfest beers. So then I give a little a point over to street side for that. But, and this is just looking at the beers, I haven't even stuck my nose into either one of these yet. High grain has this good frothy white head on there. It's not super big, but that could be the way I poured the beer too. But it's definitely bigger than the street side. I need a big head. Size matters. I need a big frothy head on my Oktoberfest beer, and that is important. Goofy Dads says that Matt is a purist. He absolutely is, and if he loses right now, he will let me know that was the wrong choice. I don't know. We'll see. All right. All right. We're gonna go street side first because it's on the right side. Okay. I definitely get a lot of those fruity kind of yeasty esters going that I always get at the beginning. These have to sit and kind of breathe for a second before you really kind of get what they're supposed to be, but it smells good. Okay. All right, I'm already leaning one direction. Not the band. Gave up on them a long time ago. It's that second album. All right. I'm getting and this is just me on my initial sniff test. There is a deeper kind of roasty malt thing coming from the high grain than there is a street side. That's just first sniff test. This is like way more like floral fruity, which is fine. That's still within what I want from the style, but here's the thing about this competition too, which a lot of people don't realize. I'm not judging to style. Style plays into it. If like I said, if you've got a really hazy Oktoberfest, it's not going to win. If it's completely just if it comes out, it's got actual fruit in it. Obviously, it's not going to win. So their style plays into it a little bit, but much more important, I want to know what I would rather drink when I'm sitting at an Oktoberfest festival. What is the beer that I want in my stein? We're going to have to move quick on this because we're already 24 minutes into the episode, and I haven't even touched the topic this week. So this is, all right. And I've got good stuff to talk about on that too. Stuff that I was told yesterday I wasn't supposed to talk about. All right. This is going to be tough. All right. Diving in. Well, that's good beer. It's got that good big kind of. It's got a big body to it, which is one of the criteria for me for an Oktoberfest. But it's still crisp, still easy drinking, not super carbonated, which sometimes I want. Sometimes I want the other way, depending on if I want more Märzen, I'm okay with a little less carbonation versus fest beer. I want something that's a little crispy. Okay. Julia's criticizing my tasting technique. She said I should have done little sip, big sip. I went big sip. Do I go another big sip or do I go little sip? I don't know the rules now. I don't know. That's a good beer. I'll tell you what. Street Side doesn't get a lot of credit for their lager game, especially now with all the attention towards their English styles that they're doing. That's a freaking good beer. There is a nice little bitter kind of snap in the background, but yeah, it's real floral, a little bit of fruitiness. Yeah, good beer. All right, high grain. Again, it's losing a point for what it looks like. It's hazy. I know that high grain knows how to make a clear lager. Why is my Oktoberfest hazy? It's not as hazy as some of the other ones we've had this year. I'm not gonna dock too many points for that, but oh, this is gonna be brutal. That's a hell of a beer too. Yeah, again, nice big body to it, but not so big that it's not drinkable and what the kids call crushable. Man, oh, this is gonna be tough. You got to figure out what those criteria for you are, and that's I think where I struggle. Normally, I struggle more later in the competition. Round 1 is normally pretty easy. Say for a couple competitions, which I think we're looking at right now. This is a tough one. These are both great beers, and both of them would be very welcome in my stein as I'm celebrating. I have to say, off the bat, appearance, even appearance, I struggle with because the bright clear side of Street Side gets a point, but then that head on the high grain takes the point back, and it just kind of wipes it clean. Man, I don't know that I've had one that was this like back and forth for me. Ooh. And as it goes, it gets harder. Both of these just bring me joy. God, that's good. Would have been easier if I just drank Psychopathy like I was supposed to. I'm curious. Did Goofy Dads get a fun Psychopathy kit and an invite? Do you still get those? I think. Yeah, I think I made my decision. This is tough, but I think I've decided. No matter which way I go with this, somebody's going to be pissed off, and that's okay. you are right to be pissed off because both of these beers deserve to be in the next round. By, as it always seems to go, Goofy Dad says, no, I'm out of the circle of trust. I do have a +1. I can bring you, but I'm going to make you wear a Gnarly Gnome shirt and a hat, and you have to, every 17 words, say, be gnarly. By a very narrow, very, very narrow margin. I'm going to, man, I'm going to give it to High Grain. Even though the beer is not as bright and clear, I think it's overall the better fest beer. I think. Ask me tomorrow and I might have a different answer, but right now, that's the winner. And as we head into the next segment, you guys know what's coming next. We're going to take these two beers and we are going to Voltron this shit. And we're going to make it better. There we go. This is now street grain, high side, whatever you want to call it. This is the new fest beer. Let's see how this one is. Prost, and then we'll dive into the next topic. This is either going to be like incredible or just kind of not great. It smells really good. Oh, that's great. That's a great beer. Oh yeah, that's a good beer. That's a heck of a beer. Look what I did. See? I may not be a brewer, but I make a good beer. Cheers, everybody. Prost. All right, let's dive into the actual topic that I want to talk about, and that is 2.5 months of label approvals. I've gotten way behind what I'm supposed to do on my label approvals. I said I was going to do a month, and then we got distracted, or I got distracted. You got distracted. I'll blame you. We have a lot. We have a lot to cover, and now I've got to find my button to push because I don't think I put it over here, so I got to find it up here. Maybe this one. There it is. All right. All right, some of these are not that exciting, but I promise there are some exciting things in here. This is, you may not be able to read it because it's very illegible. It says Carbless. That is the brand, because it doesn't have carbs, or maybe, I don't know. They like cars. They bring them bliss. I don't know. This is an impact product. Taft's Ale House. Not Taft's Ale House, Taft's Brewing Company over there in Spring Grove Village. This is their contract company. They make this product. We've seen these a couple times. I'm trying to catch up on all the messages that are coming through. So this is a vodka cocktail. This is the New Age Seltzer, raspberry flavor. There's going to be a few of these, so hang tight because we got to roll through them all. This is the raspberry version. I want to go back and see what we've already seen from them. I don't know. That doesn't work. We should click, and then maybe this will work. All right. Grapefruit. Oh, so exciting. Moving on. Blood orange. Same thing, just flavored differently. I will say, for me, and I'm not a seltzer fan at all, I would drink a blood orange vodka cocktail way before I would drink a blood orange vodka, or no, not vodka, a blood orange seltzer. That's where I'm going. I think that these typically, for me, taste better, but at the same time, I just don't care. I don't care. I don't need like that one hit flavor thing. Oh, mango. Great. It's the same thing, just mango. Ah, watermelon. Yeah, that sounds good. I would try that. Yeah, watermelon vodka cocktail. Yeah, I would try that, but it probably tastes like fake watermelon is my guess. Moving on. Goofy Dad says, "Is this Taft's?" Yeah, Impact. Yeah, this is their contract company. Which there's more. This next one's really cool. The Drop. I should have ordered these differently. This is and I should say, there is no guarantee that these products that they're making here, that we can buy them here. You might be able to get them. I don't know. You might have to go somewhere else in the country to snag the products that they're making right here in Cincinnati. This is another canned cocktail, 9% ABV. These are all like lemon drop inspired canned cocktails, and so obviously there's a lemon drop one coming. That was the first one that I saw, and that should be the one that came up first. But I'm bad at everything. Julia says, speaking of seltzers, the Clausen Pickle Spritz is back in stock. I've been trying to get my hands on that. Noted. I will look tonight after we finish the episode. It's a wine-based pickle spritz, which sounds horrible, which is why I need to try it. The drop, this is a watermelon lemon drop cocktail. Those things just don't really make sense to me, so I want to drink it. Here we go. Signature lemon drop. Okay, a canned lemon drop cocktail. I'm fine with that. Sweetened with cane sugar. I bet it's way too sweet. I bet it's good. 9% ABV. So the sweetness gets balanced out by the booziness. Yeah, I bet this is really good. And I bet it'll get you really messed up when you're sitting by the pool. That's my guess. And my wife would like that. Strawberry lemon drop. I'm sensing a trend here. We just add another flavor on top of the cocktail. Welcome to craft beer. Okay, that's fine. It's fine. 9%. Okay, whatever. Craft beer's dead. I'm okay with it. Here we go. Here's more craft beer. This is a capybara on a skateboard. This is evidently, my assumption is that this is the next Cappy Snacks that we're seeing. So Cappy Snacks is almost a sub-brand underneath of Urban Artifact. They're making these kind of approachable fruit beers. The Fruit Punch Cappy Snacks was the first one. I drank, I think, 900 of them yesterday watching the game because they're super crushable and good and orange. The cans are kind of orangey, and it seemed appropriate, and so I drank a bunch of them. And this is the next one. Not orange. I'm okay with that. I bet it's really good. They go down easier. So a lot of Urban Artifacts fruit tarts are a little high ABV, and if I'm hanging out watching a game or somewhere where I need to get home, I don't want to drink them because they will they'll mess you up. Whereas this, you can crush a couple of them and be okay. And he's got a bird on his head, and I think that's fun. Moving on. I can't wait to try this. Another Urban Artifact. This is one of their small batch ones. They do a ton of these. This is a raspberry chipotle American fruit tart. Yeah. I like that. Is that axolotl? Yeah, that's an axolotl breathing fire, I think. Or is that... Nope, that's not an axolotl. That's like a... Is that a ferret? Is that a ferret breathing fire? That's a ferret, right? Somebody correct me. That's got to be a ferret breathing fire, right? Okay. Either way, Julia says, I think it's a naked mole rat breathing fire. You have to specify that. It's a naked mole rat breathing fire. Either way, it's some kind of animal breathing fire that does not actually breathe fire. Not a ferret? Are you sure? I don't know. All right. We'll clarify. Either way, raspberry chipotle sounds good. Moving on. 5 stories. This is the distillery arm of Northern Row. This has already been released. They announced this already. In fact, I believe it happened this weekend. This is the peach brandy, and then you know what's coming next. The barrel-aged peach brandy. I did get a chance to try, not the barrel-aged. I tried the regular one, and it was amazing. I'm assuming the barrel-aged peach is only better. So they probably have some still. Go get it and drink it, and it's probably good. Moving on. Ooh, I like this one. Fruit Blood. Goofy Dad says peach brandy going historical with a Cincy booze. I dig it. Yes, I love it. Fruit Blood rocking out something very different than they've done before. This is Red Pop. This is how do they word this on here? This is a sparkling wine. Hang on, I'm zooming in. I mean, you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm trying to zoom in if my shit would work. Sparkling wine co-fermented with hibiscus, blackberries, and cranberries. So it's still a wine, but you look at this label and it looks like a canned cocktail. And I think that is super smart. The artwork looks like a certain fruit punch that I've seen before in some weird way. I want this. I feel like it's crushable, but at, what is that? Yeah, 9%. Yeah, this will mess you up. This is bad news. Bad news in a can. Looks like 12-ounce cans, I'm assuming. I need this in my life. My favorite product from Fruit Blood so far has been Fish Logs. I think it's the best cider that has ever come out of Cincinnati, and I've tried a lot of them, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And I think that this is going to be probably my second favorite Fruit Blood product. I'm saying that now before I even try it. That's what I think. Moving on. We got a lot to go through here. Dead Low. Dead Low doesn't get enough shout-outs in the chaos of all the things that we've got going on. Paddle Wheel. This is their Pilsner. Yes, I will grab it. I will try it. We will see how much of a Pilsner this is. Dead Low gets a bad rap sometimes. And I think that they're making better beer than people give them credit for. We'll see. Yeah, excited for it. Moving on. Okay. Aside from all of the extra white in the label, I hate when people scan their labels bad and give me bad things to work with. Wicked Hair. This is a new brand from Turtles Brew. We've talked about Turtles Brew a bunch of times on the show. All right, let's go behind the scenes. That's what the show is about. Turtles Brew was invited to Beer, Booze, and Bonks last year. That was the beer festival that I helped throw. Not helping throw it this year. Don't know if it's happening. Not the person to ask for that. But one of my biggest gripes about the festival was that there was one place that left early. They just started packing up and they left. And they had product left over that I'm assuming, and I don't know this for a fact. Maybe there was some kind of business dealings that I'm not aware of. I assume that the venue had purchased this product because that's the way it should work. And I saw a certain company, I'm not naming names, um, just giving what was left away and then packing up their stuff and leaving. I love the product, love the company. I don't have patience for that. It's if we want to get really honest, hang on. If you want to get honest, one of the biggest reasons that I decided that this is, I mean, there's a few reasons, but one of the big reasons where I decided that I was not going to help throw Beer Festival this year was that some of the people that I was inviting to the Beer Festival didn't give two shits about the Beer Festival. And I'm not naming names. Not naming names, but people that I invited, that we invited, I should say, didn't do it right. And that, on one hand, that freaks me out, that there are places that don't appreciate, don't respect, don't understand what a beer festival is supposed to be, and didn't get, I guess, the memo out of all of the emails and all of the conversations and all of the posts and all of this stuff of us trying to explain why we were trying to do something different. They didn't get it. Some places, not naming names, but there are some places that didn't get it. It made me not want to do it. I don't think that there is a lot of room right now for me to make a festival the way I want to do a festival. Anyways, that's my reason why I'm not doing a festival. The other reason is because I'm helping. Helping. Hopefully not helping. Hopefully other people are doing this. I am facilitating, or I don't even know the right word to use. Cincy Beer Week is back for anybody that doesn't know, and I'm poking people to help them make this thing a thing. And that's where I'm at right now, is that's the right way to go versus a beer festival. You guys got me distracted. That got me distracted. Wicked Hair. This is in cans. I'll drink it. I think it's a good product for hanging out by the pool. It says, "Be wicked, get wild." Artwork sucks, if I'm honest. Oh, hang on. We have a phone call. Now I have to figure out if all of this works. Hey, you're on the Weekly Pint. Who is this?
Hey, it's Zach Holly. What's going on?
Oh, hey, Zach Holly. It's not even Zach Holly.
No, it's Marco.
Yeah. What's up, buddy?
But anyways, what's up, buddy? How you been, man?
Good. I mean, living in chaos.
Yeah, I figured. So, I am not going to take up too much of your time. I think you brought up a great point about the
cuvéing Oktoberfest beer. The great point about cuvéing it makes it better. Yes, you're right. I brought that up. That is the thing I do.
You did do that, but the stuff about Beer Fest and people at places at Beer Fest and all that other stuff. I think there's a lot to unpack there.
There's a lot. There's a lot, and I don't want to shit on festivals, because there's a lot of great festivals that are being planned right now, and they're smaller festivals, and they're very hyper focused festivals, and I think that is good. I don't think the traditional beer festival where you've got 40 breweries lining up with whatever beer. I don't think that's a thing anymore. And maybe I'm wrong.
No, it's not. It's not. And I was going to try and get in and out
That's what
just
she
to
said.
add a little spice to the show, and then we'll talk more about it because we covered this the weekly pint on truth, beer, and consequences.
What's that?
Want to
Truth
say
Beer What's that? What's that?
Truth, Beer, and Consequences is a great podcast where my co-host and I, Julia, we listen to and cover all the Cincinnati-based craft beer podcast
Well, that
media
sounds
from
fun.
the previous week. Yeah, and we get together at a podcast host, and usually it's Higher Gravity Summit Park. Shout out to Higher Gravity for being a gracious podcast host. And what we do
could people
is we give
like
our version of the truth.
Could people like Goofy Dads show up for one of those episodes and be on the episode?
Absolutely. I mean,
that would be fun.
We are there. We are there. And shout out to Higher Gravity for being a gracious podcast host, but we're there.
What days do you typically record those?
Well, I mean, it's Tuesdays, man.
Tuesdays? So that's tomorrow?
Tuesdays it's tomorrow. That's tomorrow. And so, we try to make a space for not just talking about Cincinnati craft-based podcasts and media and all that, but we pretty much put it out there that that's where we're going to be, that's where we are, and that's what we do, and so we are. Whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, we are extremely consistent with being there and putting out content. Now,
we appreciate it.
There are a few weeks where we travel to different locations, but we try to make that known. There's every third Tuesday.
Well, I got you distracted. It's fine. Eric says as long as you bring a bag of dicks. You don't have to bring your own dicks. Higher Gravity has the dicks. You just get the dicks there. And from what I understand, you can just order dicks and they'll put it on somebody else's tab. I've heard that works.
Dude. Well, that might have happened last week.
I've heard that works. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
go back though.
Yeah,
so you got distracted with your show.
Yeah. So I mean that's
beer festivals.
But what I wanted to say is that there's a lot to unpack with beer festivals and with places that self-distribute versus places that distribute through distributors, and there's a lot of mishmash and stuff there. However, I think what your point is that it was supposed to be a festival that you should have regarded as a place, and as far as a brewery, and then therefore give that information to your distributor or whoever is supposed to be in charge of making sure that they're at these events, that this is a special curated event, and it's not just the
breweries and the distributors though. When I came to the decision that I was probably not going to throw another beer festival for a very long time, or help throw a beer festival for a very long time, I was sitting with you and probably Julia and Dippa Josh, Captain Dippa himself. We were all sitting together, and I was looking around at a beer festival.
Vincent as well.
Yes, yeah. And I was looking around, and I was watching the people that were drinking the beer, and there were great beers, and it was a good festival. And I was looking around, and I realized that nobody gave two shits about the festival. They were missing the point, and it's not worth it to throw the event if the people that are going to the event don't care. And this was not Beer Brews and Bonks. It was a different festival. But I saw the people that were coming, and I'm like, why are you here? It's different.
Well,
It's
but
changed, and we gotta figure out a way to get to fix the culture first, and then the festival can come later.
yeah, and I think I was coming at it from a different perspective of, you know, the breweries, the places, the distributors, and you're coming at it from the people that are showing up.
Yeah.
It's like we're not we're not activating the people, and the people that show up are just minimal to nonplussed. It's almost as if they
Yeah.
were it's almost as if they were coming to that business regardless of said activity.
If
And
if there was an
I think
Applebee's
I think
booth, if there was an Applebee's booth at the beer festival, people would have walked up to it and got a little scoop of their what is the dip, the spinach artichoke whatever, gotten their scoop
yeah
on a little taster. You're like, oh, that's good. Yeah,
I
that's good.
I
Hey, can I have another one?
I
And
think
they would have got that, and they would have been happy with it, and nobody would have made fun of it, and that's a problem.
but it's so weird that there was a published article about how that Applebee's itself is actually starting to
They're
uptick
thriving.
and thrive, and like I just don't understand.
I do.
I mean,
I understand
the
it.
Dan Campbell,
I understand
the
it.
Dan Campbell commercials are funny, but you're not thriving because of Dan Campbell. I mean,
Yeah.
although the commercials are funny, why is it that Texas Roadhouse is thriving or Applebee's is thriving, and why are your local breweries and the places that can provide you nice pizza or good hamburgers and craft beer, like why are they having a year over year struggle to compete? What is the difference? And
The easy answer is
you're not going to you're not going to Texas Roadhouse and having a dinner for less than the price that you're going to, let's say, a craft brewery that has food.
Right.
You're going there for what? What are you getting? Yeah, everybody's got a birthday, and they have a happy birthday, and you have to sit on a stupid horse. Or maybe instead of craft beer, you're ordering macro beer.
I think they cut that back. I don't think you get the horse anymore. Budget cuts.
I don't know. But maybe you're going, and instead of ordering craft beer, you're ordering macro beer, and so instead of spending $130, you're spending $100. As a family of 4 or 5 going to these places. I don't understand why Texas Roadhouse is packed, and then your local craft brewery that offers food is not, equally as busy when they put a lot of time, effort, and care into making sure that what you're having, both on draft and from a food standpoint is good. I don't understand that. I do get value is important, and craft breweries aren't going to compete with a $3 Long Island
you cannot compete with Applebee's. And I think this is a bigger post that is coming. I promise. I've been working on this post for a very long time about why we're at this point. And Applebee's is the perfect example because the last time I was at Applebee's, and granted we had coupons, which is probably part of it too. My kids' school gave us coupons from the kids.
That's the answer.
You go.
That's what it is.
You go to Applebee's and they're like, hey, kids meal for $5 or whatever the discount was, and my kids can sit there and have a drink and chicken tenders and fries for $5. And then we have dollar margaritas for
Well, did they
me and my
enjoy? Did they enjoy the Pilsner, or did they want? Did they want Coors Banquet?
Yeah, they don't care. They don't care at all. Their Pilsner can be as cloudy as hell, and they don't give two shits. but then me and my wife can sit there and like it's dollar margaritas. And I'm like, hell yeah! Like we'll drink 12 of those. Like bring me 12 margaritas, and like they will, and they just bring them.
Yeah.
And then like at the end of the night, they bring you the bill, and it's like, yeah, here you go, $20 for your family of 4. And I'm like, okay, like I understand
Yeah.
why people come here. That's it. That is it. It's cost.
Yeah, it's a rough part, even with a brewery with that has kid meals, that has coloring sheets and crayons, and 32-ounce beers and on special and all that other stuff. A family of 4 or 5 is still leaving out of there for $80 to $100.
Yeah, I think I don't remember the actual total for us, but the family of 4, I think it was like 60. It was probably less than that. I can't remember, but it was like $50 or $60 for the 4 of us. That's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. It's not practical prices. Like
but it
don't quote me on any of
but
this. I'd be happy to walk you through some of the other price.
But you know what it does?
Price variance.
You know what it does? My kids had a good time, and then every time we drive by Applebee's, they say, "We like that place. We want to go there."
Dude,
and so you have to take your kids there.
All of my kids are older, but when my kids were in grade school, middle school, high school, that's what we did because that's where they wanted to go. I mean, it's like our friends, a lot of friendships, a lot of memories were had in those booths, and
they've got touchstones. Like you can have a good time there.
Oh, geez. I did not do that. But the thing is, I mean, for craft breweries that are also that have restaurants, I mean, trying to gain that market share and trying to keep moving on. It's just it's unbelievably tough.
It's a different game. You can't play that game, and I think that's a whole other conversation that probably people should be having, is that you can't play that game. You're not supposed to play that game. You're not Applebee's. None of these breweries are Applebee's. They shouldn't be. That's not the game that we're supposed to be in. And like I think that there are a lot of breweries that are trying to get those people back. It's like, oh, you're at Applebee's. No, you should be here. Like, no. They want to go to Applebee's. That's where they need to be right now. You're looking for a different customer as a brewery. You want somebody that's looking for something different. And maybe that crowd is shrinking, and that's scary, and I get that for a lot of breweries. But you can't win the Applebee's customer over by trying to be Applebee's, or else all of this falls apart. That's my belief. Well, you can't play that game. That's not the game you're playing.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the next minute and say thank you for giving us the platform on your show to talk about Truth, Beer, and Consequences.
Of course.
We have a great show that talks about Cincinnati craft beer.
It's a show. Great show is a little bit of a stretch, but it's a show.
Yeah, it's a show.
It is a show.
Yeah. It's a show. And occasionally you show up. The other thing is that we have Cincy Beer events where we talk about all the Cincy Beer events that are coming up for the next essentially 2 months. I don't want to spoil it, but I think there's an exciting new part or something that's coming up with Cincy Beer events. The other thing is that with Cincy Beer Week, Truth, Beer, and Consequences is hosting a women in beer panel at Woodburn Brewing is hosted by Julia from Truth, Beer, and Consequences, with a lot of fantastic women in beer. And, I am really looking forward
Oh, I'll
to
be there.
this event. And I'm looking forward to you being there. And it is going to be fantastic. It's going to, I'm excited about that event. And other than that, thank you for everything that you do for the Cincinnati craft beer scene. And, I think that we're just ready for, all this fun stuff
Heck yeah.
with Oktoberfest and,
It's
Cincy
a
Beer
good time of
Week
year.
and everything leading into just a really fun time of year, all the, football intertwining into everything and, the weather being amazing and, just the holidays coming up. It's just going to be a fun time in beer. Let's enjoy what is, just falling into our lap. So,
Absolutely.
Anyways, cheers, buddy. And again, I'll let you go. I'll hang up and listen.
All right. Love you, buddy. We'll see you soon.
Buddy.
I can't argue with anything of that. Applebee's, that's a whole other show. we got to talk about wild hair, mango tea. We're gonna roll through the wild hair, wicked hair, whatever they're called, pretty quick here. Mango tea, fruit punch tea, which is probably really good. That sounds good. Shake gently. Best served chilled. Straight from container or pour over ice. Oh, that's fun. Okay. I got to try it. Lemonade tea. See, the formatting on here, like, this gets on my nerves. Lemonade tea. Like, I can get behind that. MadTree. We talked about psychopathy. Shout out to Psychopathy for sending us free beers and a invite to Psych Night at MadTree on 9 through the thing. What is it, 9/20? Is that right? Somebody should know. 9/20? Is that right? Don't make me walk over there and get the paper. Somebody's got info in their head. Come on. All right, I'm going. I'm looking. 9. Oh God. 9. Yeah, 9:20. I was right the whole time. Jeez. All right, 9:20 from 6 to 11 p.m. Shout out to MadTree. We love MadTree and Psychopathy. This show is not sponsored, but it could be. I do have some fun. Well, I can't talk about that yet. Some fun sponsorship things happening soon on YouTube. There's some cool stuff that I'm working on, hopefully. MadTree, Sway. This is the latest Sway. I don't know any details about this, but this is obviously a canned cocktail that they do. This is the kiwi cucumber. That sounds so good. Just got home from work. Surprised to see the show still going. It's my bedtime, so no beer for me tonight. That's all right. Cheers. Enjoy yourself. All right. So yeah, Sway, kiwi cucumber. Yeah, that actually sounds kind of good. Next up from MadTree again, Sway, lemon and lychee. I've heard it pronounced both ways. Whatever, it's delicious, and I bet this is probably pretty good. The Sway is actually really good. I'm not a huge kind of vodka seltzer kind of guy, but yeah, I can get behind most of the Sways that I've had. Plum nectarine. Yeah, that might be the one that I don't know that I care about. Plum nectarine. I can't picture that in my head, but that's okay. I'll try it. I'll try everything. You know me. Moving on, Rheingeist has a whole bunch of stuff. Right off the bat, we've got Barrel Aged Cafe Inc. This is not a new beer. We've seen it periodically over and over. Their Barrel Aged series does not get the showcase that it deserves. This is a good beer. This is Cincy Light. We all know Cincy Light at this point. This is a 16-ounce can of Cincy Light. It's taken over the world. Like, this beer is doing something that I would have never predicted. There is more Rheingeist. I don't know why they're not in order, but that's okay. Fretboard, Fear the Tiger. This is a cream ale from Fretboard with a Bootsy right on the label. I love it. We need more Bengals beers because I still think it's going to be a good season. I think next week is going to be a game changer for everybody that is talking smack right now. I know this first week was a little rough, but we're gonna see the team next week. All right, going back to Rheingeist. This is strange. We've never seen this beer before. I'm trying to figure out a way to word this. I've had this beer. I don't know how much I'm supposed to say. I've had this beer. It's good. It's so good. It is very interesting that we're now seeing a third beer in the Truth line, I guess. We've got Truth, and we've got Juicy Truth, and now this is Truth Bomb. This is a big 9.5% Imperial IPA. This is right in Rheingeist wheelhouse, and I can tell you it's a good beer. That's probably all I'm supposed to say. I don't know. I don't know how this works. It's very confusing. Up until this afternoon, I was sworn to secrecy. We don't talk about it. We don't talk about Truth Bomb. Truth Bomb does not exist. But there it is. Truth Bomb. Label's there. Labels don't lie. And we're going to see more from this beer in just a second. It says, the hop here we deserve, unapologetically bold, fearlessly hopped, incredibly honest. This Imperial IPA emerges from the shadows to bring the righteous flavor back to the streets. A super group of hops joins force with a profile bounding. Oh my God, this is so wordy. Bounding with stone fruit, pine, ripe melon. Have no fear. Truth Bomb is here to save the day. Hop pow. All right, it's good beer. I'm all about it. Moving on. Julia says, Truth mixed 12 packs are coming is all that can mean. A 9% version of Truth. How's that different from Knowledge? It's a different beer. Different hops. Here we have Cold Plunge. This is a cold double IPA. 8%. I still don't fully understand what cold IPAs are. I love the artwork. This one says... we got to zoom on this because I'm old. Take the plunge. Brisk and intense with a crisp, bracing finish and a glint of tropical fruit just visible in the distance. Cold Plunge is a deep dive into the profound abyss of hops. All right. Yeah, it sounds good. Whoops. Spoiling some stuff if you caught that. Moving on. Chocolate mousse. Oh, this is right in my wheelhouse. Stout with flavors. Still in my wheelhouse. Layered with rich, creamy chocolate flavor. Chocolate mousse is a tasty treat for chocolate milk and beer lovers alike. Yeah, it sounds good. It sounds good. I love the artwork. I love everything about it. Can we talk about the artwork for a minute? I mean, Rheingeist has great branding. They've always had great branding. But over the last, I'm going to say, year or two, where they've gotten away from kind of that standard thing that they've always done, and now you get these little variations on the theme, I guess. You still have the logo in the middle, and you have some kind of stripes happening, but the stripes change based on the beer. Oh, I love it so much, and this is a great example of it. Just beautiful, perfect, nails the beer. Julia says they better also release a vanilla squirrel, nutmeg squirrel. I like a nutmeg squirrel. I like that. Some other Prayer chocolate. Yeah, I could do a nutmeg squirrel. Oh, wrong way. Or did I? Nope. All right. I don't know how I feel about this. Imperial bubbles. I like that they brought back bubbles, the original or kind of original recipe of bubbles. I don't know that you need to imperialize it and make it 9%. Put it in what looks like a tall, skinny can. I don't know that we need that. I think that might be a miss for me. But with that being said, if it's in front of me, I will try it, and I will give you my actual honest opinion about it. But just looking at it, I don't think we need it. Here we go. Another truth bomb. This is 19.2. This is a big old beer can. I still don't understand the big beers in 19.2s. I think it's strange. I don't think we need that big of a can when you've got a big beer. I understand like lighter lagers in them and whatever. But a 9.5% IPA seems strange. But clearly it's a thing, and clearly there are people that are craving that. So me and 20 of my friends could buy one of these and enjoy it. And maybe we will. Moving on. West Side. This is a fun one to start West Side off on, because this doesn't look like West Side at all. This is one of the only beers that I've seen from West Side that strays really, really far from their typical branding. This is what I'm assuming, and I'm making some assumptions. I'm assuming that this is a collaboration with El Rancho Grande. I assume that this is a house beer for them. Assumption. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me read the artwork, see what it says here. Okay, there's this fun little guy here drinking a margarita. Let's look at him. Oh yeah, looks like a nice guy. Yep, look at you. Hey, I like him. That's a good looking margarita. I mean, that does not look like a traditional margarita, but that's fine. Cerveza Especial. This pale lager uses some maize in the grain bill to keep it crisp and snappy. I like crisp and snappy. Golden with a white head, crackery and light biscuity malt aromas and flavors are kept clean with a slight floral, slightly spicy hop bitterness. That sounds great. I'm all about that, especially if this guy right here, if he gets to hang out and drink with me, I'm game. All day long, give me this. This guy here is a very muscular Bronco there. Okay. I'm fine with that. I'll drink it. Julia says, why is he holding a marg and not a beer? That's because it's El Rancho Grande. Everybody's drinking margaritas. And then you drink a beer before you go home. That's what you do. You drink margarita, then a beer. Rules are rules. Moving on. Hop Harvest Ale. Some of these are things that are already out that aren't that exciting. I mean, they're great beers, but Hop Harvest Ale, we've tried it. It's good. We know it's good. It's really good. But this is not shocking that the label is here. Either will be probably this one. Nope, that is one that is a little surprising. Del IPA from a brewery that does not name their beers. Del IPA is a name for a beer. and it is a great name for a beer. This is a double IPA, 9.3%. Yeah, it's so brilliant. This is a project with Delhi Township. It's the official beer of Delhi Township, which is the floral paradise of Ohio. I did not know that. First time hearing that. That's fine. It says, with as many hops as you can pack in a can, our double dry hopped double IPA marries a traditional West Coast style grain bill of pale malts and little else to some new school hops that lend aromas and flavors of tropical fruit and dank pine. That sounds good. Delhi IPA. I can just say that every over and over. I love it. Julia says it's already on tap at the Delhi Greens Lawn, I think on Fridays and Saturdays. Used to be more floral greenhouses per capita in Delhi than anything else in Ohio. I don't believe it. All right, moving on. You guys have seen this one, the Geta Blonde. Great beer. This is not to take anything away from the beer, but we're going to keep moving so that we can get the show done before tomorrow. All right, Wandering Monsters. We're seeing a lot of labels from them recently. I don't know what that means. They don't distribute, so I don't know why they're getting label approval for all of these, but there's got to be some kind of reason there that we can infer from that. This is Tilbury. Tilbury? Don't know how you pronounce it. Tilbury. This is sandwich cookie stuffed. Those are not Oreos because I think that's a trademark thing, but they're sandwich cookie stuffed. But you get the point. Look at the picture. You know what it tastes like. Moving on, there's more Tilburys coming. Viator Obscura. This is the Fluffer Nutter. This is their big Imperial Stout. God, I love the artwork. I love it. Look at him just hanging out in there in the Fluffer Nutter forest. Poor little guy. Needs some help. There's the s'mores version. This one does not look as scary. That's a scarier forest. This one, I feel like you could chew your way out there pretty quick. Still, I'm sure a great beer. Here we go. Tilbury Caramel Vanilla Latte. So you got some coffee going on. He's got his little coffee bag on his little stick. Man, I love the little monster. Yeah, I feel like he needs a name. I don't know his name. We'll figure that out. But he just, in every little picture, here he's got some kind of costume on. Ooh, we got some good stuff coming from March 1st. So this is Phantasm, the Reposado Agave Spirit. This is their, some people call it tequila. It is not tequila because it's not made in the right region and whatever. This is Agave Spirit. But this is aged a little bit. Very fig leaf artwork, if I've ever seen it. But there's some good stuff coming from March 1st here. All right, so Cooper Island is getting a little bit of a brand refresh, unless I've missed it and it's already out there. This is the Salted Caramel Rum. Cooper Island is the rum brand from March 1st. It is made here, if you guys don't know that, because that's what that says right there. Bottled, distilled, blended, and bottled by Cincinnati Distilling in Cincinnati, Ohio. And there's a whole story there. We've got a lot of Cooper Island coming here. Hang on tight because there's a few. Here's banana spiced rum. Ooh, that sounds good. I don't think I've had that, and I kind of want it. Banana and rum are two flavors that just go together so perfectly. Moving on. More. Okay. This one here has Okay, there's got to be a story here. This one has natural flavor. This one, artificial, natural, artificial, natural, artificial. All right, I don't know the story. I assume it's just 2 label approvals. One of them will be the one we see. Cooper Island white rum. This is just the standard rum that we've seen. Coconut cream, we've seen that. Also, here's where things get a little interesting. It fits the branding that we're seeing with all of these. Cooper Island, okay, except the logo here in the middle. Here in the middle is a little different, and the artwork itself might look a little familiar if you've been following some of the spirits that they release, because it looks exactly like Still Rights, which is another brand that is also known for spiced rum. Cooper Island spiced rum looks exactly like Still Rights spiced rum. So are we seeing some kind of merging of the two brands? I don't know. I'm not going to assume, but there is another label approval for Still Rights banana bread that looks exactly like it. Just different letter. Don't know. It just adds to the confusion for me as the consumer. March 1st is one of those brands that just, I feel, gets a little confusing with some of their brands. Good stuff, good product. Does Still Rights spiced rum still exist? Don't know. Is it now just Cooper Island? Don't know. We'll have to see what shows up on shelves. Still Rights banana bread. That's the next one. And then it gets really cool. Cincinnati Distilling Mixology Series. This is a bottled cocktail. And again, as it always goes with all of our label approvals, none of this is guaranteed that it's going to appear on shelves. This is just things that have been approved through the TTB. But this is a big bottle of cocktail. A pre-mixed cocktail. You can go buy yourself a bottle of, in theory, a bottle of old fashioned, and I think it's great. I love it. I know a lot of people in my life that are not cocktail people, that don't want to mix their own old fashioned, but would sure buy themselves a bottle, pour it off, and drink it and enjoy it. It 72 proof, so it's boozy. Let's read what it says. It says, introducing Cincinnati Distilling's Mixology Series Old Fashioned, a ready-to-drink bottled cocktail that brings the classic charm of a meticulously crafted old fashioned straight to your glass at home. Made with our own expertly crafted spirits, this old-fashioned delivers a perfect balance of rich bourbon, aromatic bitters, and a hint of citrus. Yeah, I would like to try that. That's right in my wheelhouse. Yep, give me that. All right, moving on, but pay attention to this one because I think this is fun. I think it's a neat product, something that we're not seeing a lot of right now that probably should exist. We're at like an hour and a half. We're way over time, guys. Ponyboy Slings, niche beverage corporation, whatever you want to call them. This is the contract arm of Urban Artifact. They've made a couple different Ponyboy drinks. This one is a bourbon pop star, bourbon dry vermouth, strawberry, lemon bitters, and natural flavors. I would try it. It's I have little faith that it tastes good. That's what I'm going to say. Moving on. Derby cream soda also sounds great. Bourbon, sherry, pure vanilla extract, aromatic bitters, and natural flavor. It could go either way. I want it to be good, but it's probably not, because that's a lot of things to cram in a canned cocktail. I would try it. I want to try it. I want to get my hands on it. I don't know if you can buy it around here, but if you can, I will. Little Kings, I don't see any major changes on here. First glance, I don't see any major. Just another Little Kings label. Moreline, they rolled out a couple labels for their lager. Obviously, seasonally appropriate labels. We have orange and black. I'm assuming they probably ideally come in a mixed pack. 3 of each would look good. I don't know that for a fact, but seems like something that would look good. We're gonna try to get through these last ones really quickly. Sam Adams, Cheers to Scentsy, with artworks. Sam Adams clearly has a tie to Cincinnati and is willing to put themselves out there to respect it, and they're continuing that this year, and I love the artwork. It's great. Collaboration with Third Eye. We can dive deeper into any one of these if you want to, but we got to move. Pasu Schnitzel, Hefeweizen. This is already out. We've seen this. Coffee Bean Wheatopius. This is a wheat heavy with coffee beans and cascara. I think that's like a chocolate product. It's like that powdered chocolate stuff, I think. In Sam Adams Utopias barrels, they're doing anything they can in those Utopias barrels to have fun with them. I bet this is really good. Street Side, Rainy Day Clubhouse. We tried that tonight. We know it's out there in cans. Boring Beer. This is their American lager. We know this is out there. It's coming in cans. Hello Rockview. Love it. Love that album. Love the artwork. Not a new beer. Friendship priced it. Not a new beer. This is a triple dry hopped hazy day in the hood. Not a new beer. I don't know that it's been triple dry hopped before, but not a new beer. Fluffy Fingers. Not a new beer, but good beer. Game Ball. Not a new beer, but you should know cans. That's it. That's all the that's all the label approvals. It's a lot. It's a lot for one episode. We were at an hour and a half, and so we're gonna wrap it up. Especially since we were late getting a start. It's almost midnight, which means I gotta go to bed because I gotta get up early tomorrow. Thank you guys very much for hanging out. I apologize for being late. I would say it's not my fault, but it kind of is my fault. I also blame. Well, so next Monday, we have a new episode of Cincy Brewcast, which we recorded tonight. And we were late recording the episode because the schedule shifted a little bit. So I'll blame Paul down at Birkus for keeping me up too late. He didn't keep me up late. The schedule got shifted. But it's his fault. Somebody's got to take the blame, and he might as well. But that means you can stay tuned next week for an episode with Birkus, which was a really, really, really chaotic, fun episode. I don't know if I'm gonna shift parts of it around to make more sense, or just leave it the way it is. I don't know. We'll see. But stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for some really, really cool YouTube stuff coming this year and into next year. Finally kind of dialing that in and figuring out some really cool stuff that we can do to not just benefit the channel itself, but to benefit other people around it. There's some cool stuff. And of course, I can't wrap up the show without mentioning Cincy Beer Week. If you don't already know, go to cincybeerweek.com and subscribe to the newsletter. We've got a bunch of really cool events happening. We're bringing this thing back, and we're making it better than it's ever been. And I say we because it's starting with the community and then building off of that. And that's I think a thing that was missing before. So stay tuned. Good stuff happening. I appreciate every single one of you. You guys make this whole thing make sense, and you make it possible. So thank you very much. If you like this show, if you like any of the stuff that I do, you know where to go to support. You go to thegnarlygnome.com/support, and you can hang out there and support there. Otherwise, if you don't want to actually give money, you can just share it with somebody, and that works just as good, if not better. Just share it with somebody that does not already follow the show, and that helps more than I can tell you. So thank you very much. We'll be back next week, same time, same place. We'll do this thing. Thank you guys very much. We'll see you again. Everybody have a good night. Sorry it was late. Sorry. Was it a late Monday night show, or should we just make it an early Tuesday show? From now on, Tuesday mornings, midnight, Weekly Pint.